offer more support for Ukraine. President Joe Biden is sending Congress two proposals. One is partly focused on creating a process that would allow U.S. authorities to seize assets linked to Russia's elite and use the proceeds to support Ukraine. It would make it a crime for people to, quote, knowingly or intentionally possess proceeds directly obtained from corrupt dealings with the Russian government. The other request for Congress is to approve even more military, economic, and humanitarian aid for Ukraine, $33 billion worth. And Biden wants to keep the flow of aid to Ukraine going, as long as Ukraine needs it. Well, at least through the end of the fiscal year.
And the cost of this fight is not cheap, but caving to aggression is going to be more costly if we allow it to happen.
By the way, if you want to learn more about oligarchs in Russia, listen to CNN's podcast, Tug of War. The episode is titled Putin's Yes Men. The U.S. economy just logged its worst quarter in nearly 2 years. That's according to the latest GDP report, the broadest measure of economic activity. It says GDP declined at an annualized rate of 1.4% between January and March. Economists had actually expected a small growth. The last time the GDP declined was during the 2020 pandemic recession, but for reference, that was a 31% drop. CNN's Matt Egan explains why we shouldn't panic about these numbers.
The weakness has been driven by some quirky components here. There's the fact that COVID was erupting again in the first quarter of this year. We had Omicron causing all these disruptions. But here's a really key point here. The real driver of the economy is consumer spending, and that actually grew 2.7% pace. That is solid.
U.S. drought conditions in the Southwest and Southern Plains are getting worse. That's according to the latest U.S. drought monitor released this morning. Scientists reported Monday the West is in its worst drought in centuries, and climate change is to blame. You can look for evidence of this no further than Lake Mead, the largest man-made reservoir in the U.S. CNN's Stephanie Elam has more.
Lake Mead is a water source for millions of people. Local officials say the water level has gotten so low that a valve that's taken in water since 1971 is now exposed. This is the first time that's ever happened. A regional official in Southern California says they don't have enough water to meet normal demand.
The Kenosha Police Department has asked the FBI to investigate the case of an off-duty police officer who put his knee on a 12-year-old girl's neck to break up a school fight. The incident in a Wisconsin school happened in March and was captured on video. A police department spokesperson told CNN affiliate WISN that because of the situation's similarities to George Floyd's death, the chief wants an outside agency to look at the incident. The FBI has not responded to CNN's questions about its investigation. The off-duty police officer resigned from his security position with the school